This morning I was trying out a paddle length that was a little bit shorter. I'm just trying it out because I wanted to see what it was like. And the consensus is it's all right. I just felt like I was I missed a few this morning. Went over top of the puck a couple times. Obviously it's about an inch shorter, so I found that steering the puck was just different. I'm just used to I've used a 26-inch long paddle, for a long time now, and I like it. I just wanted to try this one out because in tight, I just find that it kind of brings your arm in a little bit closer. But I think at the end of the day, I'll probably just continue to use what I've been using, just because I'm just used to it. So I think this session I'll go to the happy medium and go to 25.5 just to try it out. But hopefully I don't whiff on any more low shots this morning. And I do like a short paddle for things that are in tight. I just feel like it's just easier to control, like gather up little short rebounds and whatnot. But I feel like I can do that the same with my 26-inch paddle. So now I'll give the happy medium a run and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, foam core would tend to get waterlogged typically in the bottom if you get a few cracks in the bottom. I was using a laminated top, so a lot of times you get a couple shots off the top of your stick and the laminate would kind of chip. Trainers love that because they love getting fiberglass slivers in their fingers. And they would just kind of delaminate it, and I didn't wind up breaking a lot of those sticks. That laminate would kind of pop and make a bubble, and that was enough to make it unusable. So yeah, I do get a lot more consistency, and they actually don't break as often as I found as wood core sticks do. They just kind of get worn out, and I find like a lot of my sticks after a lot of shot, like hard low shots, would start to kind of crack in the middle if I'm getting good stoppage or getting good contact and not deflecting it. A lot of times a guy will shoot it directly like in your 5-hole and they would just catch it just in the right area. But they do hold up pretty good. I can't complain. They hold up better than the foam core sticks used to.
Are your pads red because of Montreal Canadiens?
Yeah, I've just been using these red pads for the summertime. I got them for practice at the end of last year. So when I go back to Montreal, I'll have my white and red ones. So this is just for summer hockey.
Why do you use those ones at the camp and in summer, and then you use your white ones in the NHL?
White looks bigger. Visually, they just look much bigger. I think the red ones look cool. Like I like the aesthetics of these, but just white. There's just something about white pads that just make you look larger.
Oh, come on. Is it hard to go between two different sets of pads in a year?
No. You know what? The back side of my pads and my gloves are all red. So when I'm kind of looking at everything myself, it almost looks the same. So, but actually when I wear these ones, I look down on them this way. After wearing these, the white ones look bigger. So it's just, they're not the same, I know that, but just visually they're bigger.
How do you handle traveling with your team and playing consistently with time zone changes and all that? Always on the road.
It's easier being in the East because we play in the same time zone a lot. But when we do go out west, it's not so bad because it's not as bad traveling west as it is going from west to east. So we have it relatively easy.
What happened to your handkerchief for your symbol?
No, yeah, I didn't have I didn't have a handkerchief for my suit in the All-Star or the award show, so I had to improvise.
Pretty awesome.
Use one of those towels.
Yeah.
You guys got any other gear questions? Playing in the NHL questions? Hardest shot questions? There we go.
So, like, after the draft, I heard that, like, it's not easy after the draft, getting drafted. You still have to put in a lot of work. Like, how hard is it to actually make it onto a roster after the draft?
It's nice getting drafted. You have to play well at the right times in front of the right people to get drafted. Maybe a couple times here and there you might impress somebody at the right time, but then you get drafted, and then to make the team you have to play well all the time. So it's even harder once you get drafted.
What was it like playing for Canada?
That's fun. It's playing for Canada is a very very cool experience, and being that everybody's so efficient at their job. Like I played obviously for the Olympics and the World Cup, and when you play with players like that, you just know that somebody's going to be doing their job. So you just it's just like an ultimate sense of things are going to get done. So you just have to worry about doing your job. So, and that if everybody's doing their job, you're going to win. So it's a pretty satisfying feeling when you end up winning, and you just knew it from start to finish that if you did everything right, you were going to win.
Oh, sir, go ahead.
How many hours do you get to the rink for a game?
It depends. I usually road games, I'll get there just when the bus goes. We usually have 2 buses going there between 2.5 to 2 hours before. At home, I'll typically get there 2.5 hours before a game.
Within those 2.5 hours, what's your preparation look like?
It's pretty typical. I just get there and have a cup of coffee and tape up a stick, kind of talk with my teammates about a couple of different things, whether it's what situations that happened last game or situations that happened the last game against that team, and then I'll do some stretching, and then we'll have a pregame meeting with the coaches about their forecheck, what we want to do on our forecheck. A lot of things that don't necessarily have to do with what I'm doing out there. So I kind of drift in and out of paying attention based on what we're doing or what they're talking about. Because I know a lot of things don't necessarily pertain to what I need to do. Like our forecheck, I don't really know what we're going to be doing on our forecheck necessarily, but during that time, I'm thinking about other things, like what we just talked about on their forecheck. I'll be thinking about ways to beat that. So I'm not zoned out thinking about, what I'm going to eat for dinner after the game. I'm just thinking about other things.
Would you rather a farm or like a house in the city?
Pardon?
Would you rather a farm or a house in the city?
Oh, definitely a hobby farm. Not a real farm, because real farming is a lot of work. But I do like having a little bit of acreage and having a little bit of space.
Who was your favorite goalie growing up?
I had a few favorites. I guess they've kind of varied between different stages in my life. I like Kirk McLean, obviously, when he was with the Canucks, and I like Patrick Waugh, obviously, and Marty Brodeur, which are probably 2 really influential guys on my career or in my youth.
Yeah, Carey.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, Dad. He's a big part of the reason that I got playing goal in the first place.
Carey, I can ask you that. So, A, did you always want to be a goalie? And then B, at what age did you sort of get the vibe that I've got something special and I want to really throw myself into this?
Wanted to play goal when I was really young. You know, when I first started playing hockey in general, it was in the backyard, and then as I got a little bit older into like the Adams age, I started playing defense and worked on my skating abilities, and went to hockey schools as a defenseman, and kind of just worked on my, I guess what essentially would be is just like my hockey skills. And then as I got older, I went back to goaltending again, and by the time I was about 11, I suppose, it was kind of when I made a Pee Wee AAA team as an 11-year-old, and then it kind of took off from there.
We got one that follows up that perfectly online from a 9-year-old squirt goalie. She wants to know, how did you balance school and hockey when you were little? Did you miss school for hockey? What took priority?
Oh, it was balancing. I've always had very understanding teachers. Hockey and school are, things that you're going to have to deal with as a young person. Definitely missed my share of classes traveling, but at the end of the day, I was always diligent at getting my work done.
What sport would you play if you didn't play hockey?
I don't know. I have a lot of hobbies that I enjoy. I played a lot of golf when I was in high school.
Yes.
You listen to music before games?
Yeah, it's always on the radio or on the stereo, so you don't really have a choice unless you wear earplugs.
What's your favorite Mexican flavor?
Probably, I don't know, like vanilla, because you can mix vanilla with anything, just about.
I got one actually. So sometimes when goalies that I work with get to be that 17 years old and they're trying to find where the next level is for them, and a lot of times I'll hear like I didn't feel motivated to do my workout, my training today. Like, so does that mean I don't like hockey? Or they're almost having a crisis of faith because they feel like they should be like, oh, like what I'm imagining you feel that way some days, and so. Is there something you just tell yourself, like, to help, do it and move forward?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's lots of days where you don't feel like getting hit with a puck, but it's part of what I do. It's part of my job, and at the end of the day, as a professional, I'm getting paid to do it. But there are aspects of the job that aren't fun, and everybody's got to do things at some point in their life that they don't enjoy doing or aren't motivated to do, but. Like say a workout after a game the next day is difficult to do some days, but at the end of the day, it's going to make you better. And for me, you have to be able to find that motivation yourself to drive yourself to do the things that aren't necessarily fun or what you want to be doing, but that they're going to be essential to your success.
I think you told us last year that you like reading a lot.
Yeah, I do. I do like reading a lot. I like learning new things too. I like learning how to do things, learning about how things work. I guess I kind of got a different mind in that sense. Always kind of thinking things, reevaluating things, thinking outside the box. So. I guess that's why I kind of get lost in meetings sometimes when they're not pertaining to me.
What was the last good book you read?
The last good book I read? Let's see, what was the last good book I read? It was Eli Wilson's goaltending book.
Couple more over here, guys.
Yep.
What's your motivation on getting a bear tattoo?
A bear tattoo? My First Nations band, the logo has a grizzly bear on the front. So all the characters in my tattoos have to do with either family or that logo. So everything in there means a lot to me.
What was your favorite book that you read?
I really enjoyed the J.R.R. Tolkien's books, the Lord of the Rings books, the Hobbit's books. Those are books that I've read a couple times. And I don't know, I've just kind of always been drawn to that. I guess that's the creative mind.
Were you that brainy person at school?
Brainy? No, I think everybody has their strengths and attributes. I don't think I'm dumb, but I don't think I'm smart. So, I think there's some aspects I think my brain works really well, and there's others that it doesn't. Like mathematics is not something that I feel like I'm very strong at, but I feel like I'm a very creative mind.
You talked about your game day prep, and someone online asked, when you're mentally getting ready for a big game, are there any techniques you use to prepare, or is it all the same?
Yeah, I think routine is important. I think you fall into a comfortable routine, but not being so adamant on the details of that routine that you have to be superstitious. I don't think superstition is something that benefits many people. Well, it might benefit some people, but I just find that it can become a distraction. I don't like that. So I do have a routine that I go through and somewhat follow most of the time, but those are mostly things that just get me ready for games, like taping my stick and having a cup of coffee. They're things that I'm going to be doing anyway. So.
Somebody asked you if you changed up your, do you know what your sharpening is? Do you change it up based on season? Like you're skating in the summer, the ice is softer now versus winter in Montreal?
Yeah, I definitely, if you're going to, different ice conditions throughout the league vary. They try to make it as consistent as possible, but it's just not possible. So you wind up playing on some soft surfaces where maybe you might go from, I typically like to have mine at half. So, they might be a little bit sharper when the ice is super, super fast, or might be a little less when it's a little bit sluggish.
Do you guys got any other ones? We should probably start with ready. Yes, Josh. I'm looking at the time. Maria, how are we?
Yeah, it's like
Full?
2:45.
Yeah, it's a real issue that you're going to have to deal with at some point. But my advice to people who wind up in that situation would be, don't let that situation define you. Let how you react define you. So if you react in a positive manner, that's going to reflect your ability and your personality. So.
One more.
What's your pregame meal?
That also varies. We have the Montreal Canadiens do a very good job of taking care of us for a pregame meal. So everything is all buffet style, and they'll have just about every type of protein you could think of and different types of carbohydrates. So it gets old eating pasta and chicken every game. So I'll mix it up anywhere with quinoa or brown rice or vegetables. And I don't have anything real set, but typically I'll have some type of carbohydrate and a protein.